And hello, everybody. Welcome again for another ramen review. Tossing it right down into the Ramen Abyss. So, what do we have today? I was searching through the box for just something that looked, kind of interesting. And I was thinking which ones are going to be like a pain in the ass. Because that last ramen that I reviewed, you guys, it didn't have the cooking instructions on it, even though it did have some identifying factors, right? Like a nutrition sheet and stuff. So I popped into the box. I'm like, all right, what can we just get out of the way? I've got a bit of spare time. Let's hit it up. And the answer was going to be this one, everybody. This is the Samyang Kimchi Jjigae. I don't know exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Jjigae.
Yay! That's how you do it, everybody.
Jjigae.
Yay! Thank you.
Jjigae.
Okay, bye-bye.
Jjigae.
I'll see you later, mister. So we have some Samyang Kimchi Jjigae stew ramen or something like that. And yeah, it was not easy. We had to start with the UPC, everybody. That's kind of the most that I can do. There is a QR code on the back of this, but I have no idea what that's all about. It could be like enter to win something or like whatever. Maybe it was taking me exactly to the shit that I needed to get to, but we didn't bother to use that. Grandpa Loafy doesn't have a QR code reader. Okay, so I just I looked it up by the UPC. I got the English pronunciation of it, and then I proceeded to just put out the spider web, just like get all my informants on it, and I was getting nothing back, you guys. But then we found out that there was actually a little resource over on Asian Food Grocer, so very grateful for that. I've had kimchi ramen in the past. These look like they're going to be kind of the Korean style noodle, so very pleased with that fact. Think we're just gonna go cook it, and yeah, we'll let you know what we think after that, you guys. You may notice that the package is empty. It's because I already fucking opened it and cooked it and eaten it, and now we're filming the first part of it. Ah ha 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 ha! To the pot. Just got through cooking the soup, and little insider tip here. We'll see how well I edit this shit, but I actually forgot to intro this ramen. Super hungry, and I'm sitting here like doing all the different steps. It's like, okay, what do I got to do next? What do I got to do next? I took all the pictures, everything was lined up, and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot to film the first half of the fucking episode. All right, but we have the finished product here, and it looks rather nice. We definitely have some of those larger Korean style noodles, and Samyang is a brand that I really do trust as far as getting me a product I'm going to be satisfied with. If I didn't know about some of the stuff that Nongshim came out with, Samyang might be my favorite. We did the whole 5-minute noodle cooking thing, and it said on the instructions, which were incredibly difficult to track down, you guys. I must have gotten this ramen in like a fan package, or one of those ramen boxes that maybe Cult Moo gave to me. But there was none of those like English stickers on there that had anything. So I had to scour the deep web, everyone. Yeah, the vegetable packet that's in these, I don't know how like tangential I'm getting here. I'm probably going off in a million different directions, but the vegetable packet in these had these weird little squares in them. I am curious about them. They look like little bits of Spam or something. I wonder what those could be. Now, this is supposed to be a kimchi ramen. And when I think kimchi, all I think of is the the fermented red cabbage that's a little spicy and it's awesome. It's good stuff. I never really associated that flavor with ramen, I never really thought that they like really go hand in hand. I've never really had kimchi in ramen, but maybe it's fantastic. I don't know. It smells nice and spicy. And there is a good variety of things that came in that vegetable packet. Like, wow. That might be worth 2 points just by itself. Because there's a lot of goodness going on in here. And I'm digging on that. More solids with like a semi-decent broth is probably something I'd want more than like those 2 or 3 different broth packets, or maybe the sesame oil packets too. All those are really really good. So I don't know. I think we'll probably give this a 2 unless I'm really dissatisfied with what they put in here. So let's go ahead and go in for the first bite. Okay. Right away, I get impressions about the broth. I taste something a little sour at the beginning, as though it was like trying to replicate a vinegary, fermented cabbage kind of thing. And it, like, if I'm identifying that as a correct flavor, then this is spot on. But if it's really something else, then yeah, I mean, maybe this wouldn't be that impressive. Does it remind me a little like lemongrass or something, like a Tom Yum soup, maybe, in the flavor? The noodles that are accompanying with those, we're very, very familiar with this noodle. I think that you're going to get something very similar with Nong Shim. And I can't remember where I put those. How much do we like that noodle? I do like this noodle around a 7, I'd say. I mean, it tells you to cook them for 5 minutes. And I normally like my noodles more al dente, but we want to make sure that we have the full experience, with the way that it's intended to be served by the manufacturer. So I think I'm giving these noodles a 7. I do like them. I like their texture. And they pair well with the broth. But how do we feel about this fusion of kimchi and ramen, From what I know, like a colder kind of served dish with one that's served piping hot. Those aren't normally things that you can just mash together. At least not in a graceful way. Yeah, the noodles are definitely my favorite part of the soup. But I really do like this broth. I have had other kimchi ramens. As a matter of fact, I got one back there that's from Nong Shim that I've had multiple times before. And I'll say there, the solids, like there's little bits of cabbage in there that are like, that's kind of kimchi-like. And there's no real like underlying meat flavors there at all. So it just turns out to be like really simple combinations of flavors and kind of more just like a red soup base, the kind you'd find in like the Shin Ramen black or red or whatever. But here it tastes like the broth is supposed to be more of the experience of kimchi. And I think that is pretty bold. And I got to give him some points for that. And the spices, it's good too. Now, what are these little solid bits? I can't say I've had any of them yet. Let's go ahead and try one on their own. Is it maybe like a little piece of fish cake or something? I mean, that could be some kind of pork or chicken or beef. I don't know. I doubt the beef one. But it's very soft after it's been cooked. I do believe the instructions said to cook like everything all at the beginning. I did add the soup base a little bit later, just because I know it's not good to, just boil all that off. Because most soups have you add them at the end, And I would imagine if they get cooked too much, they probably lose some of the intended flavors. But here they're pretty fresh. They're pretty bold. I'm giving this broth a 6 for innovation. Would I buy this soup again? You know what? Yeah. It tastes like there's little bits of seaweed or something to bring out the vegetal flavor of like what's supposed to be the cabbage. I don't think I see too many little cabbage bits in here. Yeah. So it's like between the broth and like the seaweed and stuff, it's like we got a nice sort of kimchi thing going on here. The price on this one is 99 cents, you guys. We're very grateful to the Asian food grocer. I am absolutely following them on Twitter now. Like, I was looking everywhere for anything on this product, and I did find a couple of, bootleg photos that have the normal, like, hey, we want to sell this in your country, but we don't really care that much. So here's a sticker with all the nutrition facts on it, and, like, everything else, you're just, like, fucking, your ass is in the breeze, you guys. But thanks to them, we were able to get both the cooking instructions and the price on this item, and I'm pretty grateful for that. Price is 99 cents. So it's like, oh boy, we're starting to get up into some of the heavier hitters, I mean, the tonkatsu chicken is 89 cents a piece right now. It's like, I mean, that's in my area. It could be different, and we're looking at an online price. So that's all we got to judge it by. If you can find this in your area and it's a different price, judge accordingly, at least in the price column. But we're going to give that price is it a 6 out of 10 when it gets up to 99 cents, or is it a 5? We're going to double check on that. But, yeah, it's not going to win too many points on price, especially because, like, there gets to be some really developed flavors and some really nice other things. Although I do think that Shin Ramyun Reds and Blacks, they start get up into like the 129 to 179 sort of area. So it's like, whew, maybe it's a little bit of a happy go-between there. So, yeah. Packaging. I love it. I think it's a cool color, and I like what they got going on the front here. There does look like there's little bits of Spam or something on there. I can't believe I didn't notice it until now. But yeah, that's like right behind these chunks of beef, though. It's like, is that in there too? I don't know. There were kind of little, like, brown micro chunks. It could be like textured vegetable protein or something. That's nice too. But again, I haven't actually gotten any of them, like, in my mouth. It's just like they don't seem to stick to the noodles. Maybe it's all floating down there at the bottom. But what do we have to say about the packaging, Samyang? The name's in English up here. I mean, this obviously wasn't intended to be sold in my area, so it's like, what can I do? Yeah, there's no English on it. Can't read it. I would normally give this 0 points, but again, it's like, do we give it a point because this wasn't a thing that I'm supposed to have my hands on? I don't know. I do love the red, and I like all the things that are going on in the picture, despite whatever of it ends up in the actual soup. So, it does look cool. We'd begrudgingly give that a 1 of 2, but we might have to just give that a 0 because, hey, we can't read it, we can't eat it. You know what I'm saying? Sodium on this bad boy. Sodium on that is going to be 1,780 milligrams at 89% of your daily recommended sodium. So that's, it's around what you would expect. There's probably a lot less in, the smaller ramens, and definitely the ones that don't have, like, this rich sort of reddish broth. But, yeah, if you are trying to have one of these, the really good ones, boy, you better be ready. You better be ready to sweat it out or just retain a bunch of water. So, yeah. We're going to try to get something out of this sodium by going and getting our tofu and our green onions. Because I picked up some more, you guys. I've recognized that it pisses me off when I have something that's like, gonna spoil. And now that I've really, toned into that, hopefully I can keep this, train review on rolling. So, yeah. We're going to keep working towards better things, too, you guys. It's just, I need to start building some consistency back. And then, yeah, we'll try to do other nice things. Really, trying to figure out the direction of the channel and stuff too. It's like, if I get so hung up on making something that I don't make something, it's like, what is the fucking point? You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. We have plenty more ramen back there. We'll bust out another one as soon as we, get hungry and we can afford to eat this amount of salt. So, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching, everybody, and an even bigger thanks goes out to the people still supporting me on Patreon. You guys are amazing, and I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for continuing your support. It really motivates me to keep me going. Also, remember to catch me on Twitch every day except Tuesdays and Saturdays, 5 to 10 p.m. I play loads of Binding of Isaac and Jackbox and other things too. Hope to see you there.